Hello, everyone, and welcome to my podcast. Today, we're exploring an interesting research question. How does music impact mood? I'll discuss how this question can be investigated using both quantitative and qualitative research methods and explain which approach I believe is better suited for this topic. Let's start with quantitative research. According to studies, quantitative research focuses on collecting numerical data to measurable variables, like testing hypotheses, examining relationships between those variables. If I wanted to study music and how it impacts mood quantitatively, I would recruit a sample of participants and randomly assign them to different groups. For example, one group could listen to upbeat music, another could listen to calming instrumental music, and a control group would sit quietly without music. Before and after the listening session, participants would complete a standardized mood assessment, such as the positive and negative affect schedule, or PANAS. After collecting the data, I would use statistically analysis to compare mood scores across the groups. This would help determine whether listening to different types of music produces significant changes in mood. Quantitative research is especially useful when researchers want findings that can measure objectively and potentially generalize a larger population. Now let's focus on qualitative research. So our textbook explains that qualitative research is designed to understand people's lived experiences and the meanings they assign to those experiences. Rather than collecting numbers, research gather detailed description through interviews, focus groups, and observations. If I were conducting a qualitative study, I would interview participants and ask open-ended questions such as, can you describe a time when music changed your mood? Or, how does music help you cope with stress or difficult emotions? These questions encourage participants to share personal stories and experience rather than selecting answers from a survey. After collecting the interviews, I would analyze the response using thematic analysis to identify common patterns. For example, themes might include music providing emotional comfort, reducing stress, increasing motivation, and creating feelings of nostalgia, or helping participants process different emotions. These approaches provides a deeper understanding of how and why music affects people differently. The Loretta education video, I don't know if I said it right, also highlights an important distinction between these two research methods. Quantitative research seeks objective and measurable evidence through numerical data, while qualitative focuses on understanding participant perspective and experiences in depth. Both methods are valuable, but they answer different types of research questions. So, which method do you think is better for investigating how music impacts mood? I believe qualitative research is better choice because mood is highly personal and subjective experience. People's emotions, responses to music are influenced by their culture, their memories, life experiences, and personality, and individual preference. Qualitative interviews allow participants to explain these experiences in their own words, providing insights that numerical scores alone cannot fully capture. With that said, quantitative research also has significant strengths. If the goal is to determine whether music is consistently improves mood across a large population, quantitative methods provide reliable, measurable evidence that can be statistically analyzed. Ultimately, I think the strongest approach would be a mixed method study combining both of them. But researchers could first measure changes of mood using standardized surveys and then interview the participants to better understand why those emotion changes occurred. This would provide both objective data and meaningful personal experiences. In conclusion, quantitative research helps us determine whether or what extent music impacts mood, while qualitative research helps us understand how why music affects people emotionally. Both approaches contribute valuable knowledge, but for this particular question, I believe quantitative research offers the richest understanding because it captures the complex of individual experiences. Thank you for listening to my podcast. Bye now.